Hi, I'm Kirsten McLaughlin, Public Affairs Manager for Cox Communications, and this is Community Connection. This morning we have Rich Block from the zoo. Welcome, Rich.
Kirsten, nice to be here. Thanks for having us.
Thanks for coming. So I know there's so much to talk about with the zoo, but we're going to start with Old Spanish Days and the zoo's partnership with Fiesta. Can you tell us a little bit about how the zoo partners with Fiesta?
Sure. You know, it's one of the great partnerships in Santa Barbara, because for the past 24 years, the zoo has teamed up with Old Spanish Days to create this kind of launch event for Fiesta called Dignitarios. And every year it certainly includes elected officials and some of the real standout individuals in the community, but it's a great way to get Fiesta underway. And this year we've changed it a little bit. So in the past, people would buy drink tickets and things, but this year they've created an all-inclusive price for the event. So if you buy in advance and you go online to either the zoo website or the Old Spanish Days website, you can get an all-inclusive ticket for $110, or you can buy it at the door. You can show up for the event for $120. But the big change is that it's a full bar, and it's an open bar for everyone. And as they say, bottomless margaritas. So for people that are into margaritas, this is a great thing, but there's going to be wine tasting, beer tasting, even bourbon.
Wow.
So quite a real change in the way the event's been formulated. So we think everybody's going to come and absolutely have a great time. And it's very much all in one in the way that the zoo has designed brew, or Zoo Brew, which is every June, and our new wine event, which is Roar and Pour. So, you know, we're really getting into looking at this as a complete package. So we hope people will recognize what a great deal this is and come and enjoy the food. That's always great, but this whole new way of looking at the beverages.
And support both the zoo and Old Spanish
Well, and
Days.
it's great, right? And we come together, we do this, it's planned together, and then the proceeds from that are split between the two organizations.
That's fabulous. So moving on to some zoo news, can you tell us a little bit about what's new at the zoo?
Well, you know, one thing that's always fun about zoos is baby animals.
Right.
And so, you know, beginning last November, Buttercup, our male Maasai giraffe, was born at the zoo. And then this spring, Asha, his half-sister, arrived. And they, of course, are crowd pleasers. I mean, they're beautiful animals, and it's fun because they already look very big until you see them next to one of the adults. And then you realize that these are definitely kids on their way up. And one of my favorite animals at the zoo that's very active are the meerkats, and we had meerkat babies a number of weeks ago, and so just recently they've started coming out every day. And it's great because, you know, they look like an adult meerkat that got stuck in the spin cycle. So they look exactly like adults, only a little smaller, and do all the behaviors that the adults do, which is a lot of the digging and standing up and looking for things. So they're terrific. We've got a great family group of golden lion tamarins. And of course now our last baby giant anteater, which typically as they're growing up, they ride around on their mother's backs. This guy is so big now, he can no longer, I don't think his mother wants him hanging around. So it's really fun to see these animals grow up at the zoo.
And I hear you have some new additions to the zoo that don't need to be fed as well.
Well, we do. Yes, and this is actually one of the highlights for everybody's adventure. And we invited Turtle, one of our new animals at the zoo, to come along.
Hello, Turtle.
Hi, guys.
And the great part about this is Turtle was able to convince his companion, Andrew, to come along. He does much better when Andrew's here.
Welcome, Andrew. So Turtle, can you tell us a little bit about the new stage show, California Tales?
Sure. So California Tales is a story from the Lakota Sioux people about why turtle hibernates in the winter. And it features my friend Tiny, Condor, Raven, and Coyote.
Wow, so there's many of you at the zoo, all new additions, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's fabulous. So Rich, tell us a little bit more about the show and how our viewers can see it.
Well, one of the things that we wanted to do was draw on Native American culture and the stories behind animals that we're so familiar with. So whether it's the jokester coyote or the slow turtle, or in this case, Tiny, who's actually a very, very big bear, we wanted to bring to life the stories that Native Americans had shared for thousands of years.
That's fabulous. And I would be remiss if I didn't also ask about Duncan the dinosaur. So we only have a moment left, but...
So Duncan is alive and well and performing daily at the zoo along with his other friends.
That's fabulous. Turtle, any final words for our audience?
Let's go celebrate.
Well, thank you so much for being here today. It was so great to talk about the zoo and Los Digs, and great to meet you, Turtle.
Nice to meet you too.
And thank you. Until next time, this is Community Connection.